What's up guys, my name is Hutch and I make videos and put them on the internet, and this is Pine Park Movie Talk. Quick introduction for people who may not know who I am. I started making gaming content back in 2008. I linked up with Hector and briefly joined Optic in 2009 before I got a job hosting for a company called Machinima, and I've been focused on live and short content for the last several years as an independent creator. Also, I smoke weed and I watch a lot of movies. I'm 23 years old.
What?
There are a lot of experiences that are enhanced if you're high. Music can make you feel more inspired, food can taste better, good company can become great company, watching a sunset on a beach can make you feel more at ease, but without a doubt, my favorite thing to do if I get high is sit down on my couch or go to a theater and watch a movie. I'm very lonely. It's my favorite form of escapism besides maybe gaming. So when Hector asked me if I had any ideas for Pine Park related content, pretty much immediately I told him that I'd like to do a series revolving around movie and TV suggestions for people who like to get high. This is a job that I've been unconsciously preparing for throughout the last 2 decades straight. So first things first, when evaluating whether or not a movie will be fun to watch while high, we have to ask ourselves what it is about watching movies that we enjoy. For me personally, I love watching anything that I can lose myself in. One of the ways that I know I'm enjoying myself is if I don't look at the clock, I don't pull out my phone. Even better, if I forget where I am, what else I've been doing that day, whatever thing is stressing me out that week. If all of that disappears for 90 to 120 minutes, there's a decent chance that I had a good experience watching whatever I watched. And what makes us feel immersed can be quite different depending on the movie. Some movies make you feel a connection to a particular character or characters. Some movies just visually please you. Some movies have phenomenal soundtracks. Some actors and performances can be the thing that pulls you in. Sometimes it's the story, sometimes it's a perfect combination of all these things and more. So for today's inaugural episode, I thought it would be best to start with the basics and give you guys 5 movie suggestions to watch while you're high. The first movie that I want to recommend to you guys is a delightful little movie by the name of The Grand Budapest Hotel. This movie came out in 2014 and is directed by Wes Anderson, and basically all of his movies are a lot of fun to watch after smoking, but more on that in a later episode. This is a story about a hotel concierge played brilliantly by Ralph Fiennes, who throughout the years has seduced many older hotel clients and for some reason finds himself as the #1 suspect in a murder case involving one of his old lovers. It's an incredibly charming and funny movie that features a ton of great performances. The humor can be quite subtle when it comes to the writing, so try to stay sharp enough to pick up on that. But there are scenes that will have you dying even if you can't keep up with the dialogue. It's just a really funny movie. He's truly one of the most talented and creative directors alive, and I'm quite confident that you'll have a good time watching this movie. The next movie that I want to recommend to you guys is a more recent film and one that I think is fairly underrated. It was reviewed well with a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it had a box office gross of like $225 million, but I really don't hear people talk about it too much. So I want to highlight it here on this show. We're talking about Ford versus Ferrari, which released in 2019. It was 2019, and was directed by James Mangold, who you may remember from his previous directorial efforts with 3:10 to Yuma, Walk the Line, Logan, and more. The dude is a seriously talented filmmaker. I love Ford versus Ferrari first and foremost because I'm a fan of cinematic car chases and races. It's hard to top that as a movie-going experience for me. The recent Bond films, the Batmobile chase and the Batman that just dropped, the car chase in Ronin, the old school Fast and Furious movies. There's just something about the rumble of these muscle cars when you see movies like that in a theater, and the racing scenes in Ford versus Ferrari are some of the best car sequences in any film. They go really fucking hard, and it's just funny too. Christian Bale and Matt Damon bounce off of each other extremely well. The combination of snappy dialogue and heart-pounding race sequences makes for an extremely fun experience, and if you're high, I think that experience is even better. All right, let's talk about Signs. So Signs came out 20 years ago in 2002. It's directed by M. Night Shyamalan, who admittedly I'll say can be kind of hit or miss. It's the story of a semi-recently widowed ex-pastor played by Mel Gibson, who has lost his faith following the tragic and unexpected death of his wife. So his brother, played by Joaquin Phoenix, moves in to help him take care of his 2 children. Mysterious crop circles start showing up all over the world, and it very quickly becomes clear that the Earth is facing an invasion by some extraterrestrial life form. This movie does a couple things really well. It builds tension steadily throughout, never giving up too much away too early, leading up to a thoroughly satisfying conclusion with scenes that will genuinely disturb you. and humor that is so unexpectedly good. Like, this isn't a movie that you would expect to be hilarious, but it is. The movie is oftentimes hilarious. It's my favorite M. Night Shyamalan film by far, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it if you've never seen it. Matt Reeves is a director that a lot of people are talking about right now because of The Batman and Hitch. If you're watching this right now, I literally hate you with every fiber of my being for saying that The Batman is just 3 hours of Batman walking around not doing much. But a movie of his that was reviewed very well and did very well at the box office, yet I don't see many people talking about, is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes from 2014. This movie and its follow-up, War for the Planet of the Apes, which is very difficult to say if you have a dry mouth. Both to me were unexpected masterpieces. Each and every scene is handled with such precision, care, and purpose, and I really think that Reeves is establishing himself as one of the best directors in Hollywood at the moment. I truly believe that. I don't know how he got me to feel so emotionally invested in CGI ape characters, but he did. Caesar's story of trying to keep an extremely uneasy peace with humans is very oftentimes riveting, and the action sequences will blow your mind. It's cinema on a grand scale, and he pulls it off quite convincingly. I really, really love this movie a lot. Get high, watch this movie, you'll have a good time. The last movie that I want to recommend for you guys who'd like to smoke is what I believe to be the greatest animated film of all time. We're talking about Into the Spider-Verse. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of animated stuff. I grew up watching a ton of Saturday morning cartoons like Spider-Man and X-Men, but eventually I found myself drawn to them less and less. That changed once I saw Into the Spider-Verse. I'd never seen such perfection before. It has one of the best soundtracks of all time. It's a stellar Miles Morales story. The animation is so incredibly unique and creative, and it will make you feel intense feelings ranging from soaring inspiration to genuine sadness. To me, it's not just the best animated film of all time, it's right up there in my top 10 movies of all time. You will have such a good time getting high and watching this movie. It is awesome. And there you have it. This is a really solid list of films for you guys. So if you haven't seen any of them, I would highly recommend sitting down and giving them your full attention. Put your phone down, pack a bowl, roll a joint, grab your special occasions bong, and set aside any distractions. I really believe that these are not movies to watch while scrolling through Twitter or doing some other task. They deserve your full, undivided attention. Feel free to rattle off some of your favorite movies to watch while high, and if I haven't seen them, I'll try to give some of them a watch this week and shout you guys out in a future video. Click subscribe, hit the bell icon if you don't want to miss any Pine Park content, and drop a like on this video if you enjoyed these suggestions. Till next time, stay frosty out there and make good decisions. All right.